Just kidding. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to this edition of the Around the Ropes Radio Show. You guys know where we are. Let me throw it out and see how everybody's doing. First, I can't go that far because, you know, all three of us have been affected by snow this week. First, let me go down to the man who looks like he's living in paradise right now. And that would be our good buddy, Jay. Jay, how you doing? What's going on?
I wish I was doing good, but I got another 2 feet of snow outside my door. So, yeah.
2 feet. Them is rookie numbers. You got to pump them way up.
I don't even want to pump it. Can't even walk outside. Horrible. How about you, John?
1 inches.
That's what I was about to go to right now, guys. We went to ship up to Boston, and apparently we have to get a lot of snow with it. Ray is on with us. Ray, how you
doing? Bring your snowshoes, bring your sled, bring your fucking tube. Bro, I was telling John earlier that I literally spent 2 hours cleaning my driveway, and that was after the plow guy already hit it. Like,
I'm sorry.
I don't know if you heard about New York, but Madani is hiring New Yorkers to go shovel for snow for $30 an hour. And you know what's the most ridiculous thing? He's asking for 5 forms of ID in order to do it. Now, what do you need to vote in New York?
ID, to be honest.
You need 1 ID to vote for New York State, but you need 5 IDs to shovel snow for $30 an hour. Most ridiculous thing I ever heard.
But it makes perfect sense.
I mean, to get a gun in Massachusetts,
New York,
one of the most difficult states to obtain a firearm, I need 2 forms of ID. That's it.
Yeah. Where do you hear 5?
I don't know if I have 5. Does my passport and my passport card count as 1, or is that 2?
I went for government jobs, but it was always 2.
Yeah, right.
Passport and an ID, and if you need another one, there's your social.
Exactly.
Well, the part I laugh at is when they sat there and they're doing all this stuff, and they're like, "Yeah, you need 2 pictures," and I'm like, "You're shoveling snow. You're not voting."
And you need copies of those pictures, and they have to be a specific size. It's like from 1 to 1.5 inch.
Oh, fucking weird.
They're New York people. Don't come here.
I can't with that. Honestly, I'm loving the snow. And by the way, guys, before I forget, we should say hello to our friends over on Facebook, because we are back on Facebook.
We're back
in eternity.
I'm glad we're back.
We are back.
First come
baby.
YouTube. And would it be a show without seeing David Reynolds pop in, going, "Hey, John, Jane, welcome," and a big welcome back to Ray from Boston.
Thank you, David. While I was away, I missed your engagement with the show. I missed talking to you. I also missed talking about the fact that the man stays up till 2 o'clock in the morning to watch us 3 schlubs. He stays up till 2 in the morning for. Anyway, John, how are you doing before we head in, because we've got a lot to talk about?
I'm doing good. I'm glad to be sitting here tonight with you guys. I figured what better thing to do than, either sit here and be depressed because of the 8 feet of snow outside, or be depressed about how there's nothing on TV tonight. So I figured, hey, you know what?
Hey, whoa, pump your brakes, buddy. NXT is on. And NXT has a pretty good match card, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, we've like right now on TV, you've got the tag team title match, Dark State versus Vanity Project, and I swear to God, if they give the belts to Vanity Project,
I'm just laughing because it's so funny. Like the matches they make is so hilarious.
You know,
Project versus Dark State.
Right. Then you've got Ethan Page versus Miles Bourne, JC Jane versus Sol Ruka, which good. I want to see how that goes. Then you've got the men's speed triple threat, Jasper Troy, Ilio Lafleur versus Eli Knight. I thought that said LA Knight for a minute.
Match doesn't even make sense. The match doesn't even make sense.
Then you've got Blake Monroe versus Thea Hale. And then there's a couple of singles matches, Sean Legacy versus Keanu Carver, Cale Dixon versus Uriah Connors, as they start to ramp up towards Vengeance Day.
Yeah, when they announced that it's going to be on March 7th, live from Orlando.
Live from Orlando.
I got to go back there.
And yeah, they just announced that today. But no, I'm doing good. And I think we have wrestling to get into.
A little bit.
Yeah. And I want to actually start with what we saw last night on Raw. Last night, obviously, was the tribute show for AJ. And I know last couple of weeks, Jay and I have been really, negative on WWE. But I actually got to give them some props here. I thought the tribute they did last night for AJ was one of the best ones I've ever seen them do.
Oh, it was legit. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of, you remember back in the Attitude and the Ruthless Aggression era when somebody was coming back from a long injury layoff and they started to do those music video vignettes. Like most famously was the one from that they did with Chris Benoit, right? Where they had, I think it was Finger 11, if I'm not mistaken, playing, and like that's kind of that's the kind of feeling it gave to me, and I was here for it.
Well, I love the fact. No, right, sorry, I can't go for a second. I love the fact how you had all these guys from TNA though. They really
put
the TNA part. And I really love that.
No,
that's true. We really need to see Abyss wearing his mask. Like, come on. I think he should have just came out normal.
Yeah, but
people wouldn't know him if he came out normal. Like the only people that would know him as Joseph Park would be like the hardcore TNA fans, which I admit I was I was watching TNA every week until Destination America days, until they started becoming until that whole weird ownership change. Like then I couldn't find TNA. I got a break from TNA.
I got a question to ask you guys. When AJ came out first,
yep.
Did you expect the pop the way we got, or do you expect it to be louder?
No, it was. I mean, you just have to remember you're in Atlanta. You were basically. It was basically his hometown. I think that's the thing you have to remember.
I felt like they were trying to get in sync, but it kind of like happened late. But I expected like a bigger, like, you know what I mean?
I think if they had gotten in sync, you would have seen just exactly how loud that pop was. But because they were out of sync, it seemed like they were canceling each other out.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Because when he came out, I was like, damn, like, I don't expect it to be John Cena pop, but at least
it took me like a good 35 seconds to figure out what they were trying to say because they
that's what I was saying. Because like you guys say, it was a great moment. I think it was a great ending last night.
Perfect. Well, the part I liked was at the end when also you see him go up to the top rope and you think, okay, the show is done. The show in the lower third. They say, oh, next week we're in Indianapolis, but they don't fade to black though. And
why is it always got to be fade to black? Why can't it be fade to white, John?
But no, then that's when you had everybody come out. And I loved how Michael Cole and Corey Graves laid out. I thought that was beautifully done. And then the ending when Taker came out. And from what I read, according to reports, Styles didn't even know about that part.
I can believe that. I mean, Taker has been very vocal about his friendship with AJ and how or he doesn't even call him AJ. He just calls him Alan.
You know what I say? I say his wife didn't know either that she was gonna get thanked the way he did. I mean, if you didn't shed a tear in that moment, like Jesus,
Right?
that was powerful, man.
And I loved how he turned around and he comes into the ring and he does the line of, "You just gonna leave yourself here and leave?" And then did either of you guys think when he said, "Oh, we have unfinished business," did either of you guys think, "Oh shit, we're getting Taker Styles again"?
No, because I wouldn't watch it.
Yeah,
I
mean, AJ hasn't lost it. I mean, AJ hasn't lost any considerable steps. Taker, I'm good. I'm done. I'm done with
listen,
Taker.
I would have been okay if AJ retired against Chris Jericho. So
Why?
who was AJ's first opponent at WrestleMania?
Yeah, it was Chris Jericho, but
ended with Jericho.
I'm good with seeing Jericho on my TV too.
I was just saying, if Paul Levesque came to me, he's like, hey, can make $3 million here, $4 million, do one match with Jericho, call it quits. We'll give you 10 minutes with your family and all that, maybe 15. Why not?
Nah, I think he was at the point now. He was at the point. I mean, he could have retired if he wanted to 5 years ago. He had nothing left to prove.
5 years ago, he saw well in his prime, man. He was doing some crazy stuff.
Yeah, but I think
I'm not necessarily sure I'd say 5 years ago, but he definitely could have. He could have retired a couple years ago and been okay.
Yeah.
Not saying that I wanted him to retire a couple years ago. He was never somebody that wore out his welcome as far as I was concerned.
No. You think he's retiring is because what he came back from that recent injury?
The one where he came back all fucking brolic and shit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe it had to play a part in it.
David over in the UK says, I loved the tribute to AJ, but the rest of Raw this week fell flat, I think. Looks like, unfortunately, they're going down the WrestleMania streak route with Lesnar. A big no.
We're going to talk about that.
We'll get to that in a second here, but one of the big questions I got for you guys, and I'll ask this to everybody who's watching. Obviously, we found out last night Styles is being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
As he should.
Oh, I totally agree. But now here's the $1 million question. We know Stephanie's also going to get inducted, and more likely Stephanie's going to be inducted by Hunter.
Okay.
Who's inducting AJ?
Bro, if they don't pull out Christopher Daniels, I'm going to be very upset. However, I would not be upset if Joseph Park or Taker did the induction.
I'm going to say Kazarian.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, I said to somebody last night, I said, what about the Good Brothers, Anderson and Gallows?
I honestly don't think WWE would reach out to him. They were very vocal about their displeasure even after their re-signing with WWE.
Yeah, no, I could trying to think here. I mean, I think I said also Nakamura, which I think would be very tough. Just because
yeah, unless it was pre-taped and there were no, you can't do a pre-tape. It just doesn't. It ruins the atmosphere.
But you want to have somebody when it comes to AJ. You want to have somebody who can cover not only his TNA days, but can cover the New Japan days, but can also cover the WWE days.
Okay. Yeah, Finn do it.
And is there somebody who fits all three of those?
Yes, but it's difficult to do. John Cena.
No, I heard from some people supposedly they want Cena to be the one to induct him.
That's going to be difficult.
I would be okay with that. Think about they had two rivalries, and the last rivalry led to arguably the match of the year for both of them, where it was literally just tributes to their opponents, to their friends, Oh my goodness! Look who jumped into the comments.
Oh, and the fun has started already.
Mr. Phil McManus says, "What about the time that you promised you'd give me a giant cutout of your head, and I still haven't gotten it?" Of course, Mr. McManus is talking about all of the broken promises that John has said to him during their relationship, and he seems to be a little salty about it still, and I can't say that I blame him.
Phil, it's in the works, okay? When I can finally get up to Boston or up to Connecticut, Enfield, Connecticut, I'll definitely bring the giant head with me.
I mean, it kind of makes sense if you think about it, Phil. I mean, you see how big his head is now. Now you want a giant cutout of that monstrous thing. Can you imagine the shipping on that? So, let him save some money, and he'll bring it to you when he brings it to you, I guess, is what he's saying.
His
words, not mine. I'm with you. I think you should have had it a long time ago, but John's gonna John.
Well, I know there's some people in this world who don't like that head. Not gonna mention names, but I know there's some people who would love for me to get rid of it. Moving on.
So anyway, Bronson Reed got injured.
Nice segue there.
That's yet another member of the Vision that is down and out. Are you serious? Vanity Project beat Dark State for the titles.
I don't know what to say.
I will say that again. The Vanity Project beat Dark State for the titles.
It's official. Every tag team championship has been disrespected.
However, I will say that it was because of Big Tony there. I want to say Tony Mama Luke, but that is ECW days. I can't remember his name. He hasn't been on TV in like 7 months. What the hell is his name? Tony D'Angelo.
Good night, Phil. Take care, brother.
Good night, Phil.
Have a good night, Phil.
But
arguably one of my favorite guests to have on the show at any point in time, Mr. Phil McManus. So yes. Anyway, aside from Tony D'Angelo interfering in that tag match and costing Dark State the titles, because of Dark State, obviously jumping him backstage 8-9 months ago, really Vanity Project, but we can shelf that and talk about the fact that Bronson Reed, during his Elimination Chamber qualifying match, tore his bicep. So you know what that means? That means that he is out probably about as long as Braun Breaker, going to miss WrestleMania. Who is left in the Vision for me to give a shit about?
Logan Paul.
I will repeat the question. Who in the Vision is there and left for me to care about?
No one. You shouldn't care about anyone.
None of them. That doesn't mean that they're not great athletes. They're not entertaining when they're on the screen. They are, but they don't have that. Braun Breaker had that. Bronson Reed, you could see they were building up for him to A, have that, and B, to be next in line. So I don't. Where does the Vision go from here?
It's tough to say, man. I think booking wise, we're going to struggle a little bit. I don't think Austin Theory's there. He needs more work. Logan Paul's a great athlete, but we cannot take him that serious. It's putting him like one of those main event matches, like a Braun Breaker, a Bronson Reed. So it's really tough, man. I honestly don't know where they will go with this. I think it's a struggle. I think the Mystery Man storyline is frozen like a bank account. You don't know what you're gonna do now. I don't think anybody's gonna come back by WrestleMania, to be honest. I don't know if I'm willing to put all my marbles on Austin Theory in WrestleMania, having a match against whoever the Mystery Mask Man is.
Here's the only issue, though. And, you know, with that whole thing, you look at, you know, with the Masked Man, it was clear what they were going with the Masked Man. For him to go after Austin Theory or for him to go after Logan, after they were brought in, after Seth had already been taken out of the equation, wouldn't jive story-wise to me. And I don't know. I think, I mean, I'll definitely tell you this much. I had the feeling of WrestleMania 32 all over again.
In terms of what, John?
Remember before 32 when they had the injury bug? And, like, everybody was getting injured. Cena, Cesaro, go down the list.
Dude, it seemed like people were just getting injured getting out of bed that year.
But look what we're seeing now. It's the same thing. I mean, now you got Rollins is out. You got Breaker's out. Bronson Reed is out. Go down the list.
Yeah. No, it is. It does. And that's one thing that I did think of when they announced his torn bicep, was that it was WrestleMania 32 all over again. And I just don't know. I fear you have, my thing is, you have the injury bug going on right now, and you still have to make it through Elimination Chamber.
And here's the problem. You don't want to, I mean, yes, granted, are injury bugs could be a part of this industry? Yeah, of course they are. And all that stuff. But here's my issue, though.
Mm-hmm.
You don't, I mean, we were talking about this last week, Jay and I. Obviously, going into WrestleMania 38, the whole story was Cody coming back.
Right.
That was the big story. 39 and 40, you could arguably say was Cody and the Bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
41 was Cena.
Yep.
We're only not even less than 2 months now away from Mania?
Yep.
What is that story now? I mean, do you think it could have been the Vision?
Pre-Braun Breaker's injury, yes, I could see that. I could see it being Vision related, absolutely.
Because
but now, since you lost your A leader, and now you've lost your B leader, and now you're left with let's face it, they are. I'm going to call them the new age, the new rockers, if you will, because that's what it is. You got Logan Paul, the Shawn Michaels of the group, and Austin Theory, the Marty Jannetty.
Don't tell Paul Heyman that.
Listen, I know Paul Heyman said, if they were the Rockers, it would be Austin Theory, be the Shawn Michaels. I understand he's got to keep kayfabe. It's still alive to him. It's what makes him so good at his job. Him, Owens, MJF, but let's be honest. Austin Theory hardly ever talks. Yeah, when he's in the ring, he's good. So was Marty Jannetty. Who was the member of the Rockers that you couldn't stand because they were always talking and they were arrogant at times? It was Shawn Michaels, Logan Paul.
Yeah.
I mean,
Who would have figured Logan Paul was going to be the main guy?
Exactly. My dad just made a great point. Who would have figured when Logan Paul joined the Vision that he would end up being the vocal point?
I mean, it's true, especially since at that point. Oh no, they do have. Okay, so they just announced it is still May 31st. Clash in Italy. I know that there was some, discrepancies about that a couple weeks ago, John, but it just popped on my screen and I had to say that. I never would have thought that Logan Paul would have been the focal point of the Vision, especially because of him being such a part-timer. But now that he's been a part of the Vision, it kind of rings true what he was saying when he started. That when he started, he was saying that he wasn't going to be a part-timer.
No,
and he's proved to not be a part-timer. He has literally been there almost every single week since he has been a part of the Vision.
Yeah, here's the thing though. We've seen it so often though, with people who come from outside the wrestling world who come into wrestling, especially like the quote unquote the celebrities. And
I was just about to play a commercial because StreamYard said, you know what, guys? I don't like your attitude. And decided to not work for us just now. That was great.
He didn't like me, so.
No, what I was going to say, though, is Logan Paul is one of the few celebrities who have come into this world and has actually done pretty well.
I think if you were to rank celebrities in how well that they have done,
Paul's got a natural ability.
You will rank Logan Paul number 1, Bad Bunny a close second, and then it's literally everybody else.
Yeah, those are the two that I feel like have come into this and have actually taken it seriously.
It's amazing what happens when you have fans of the business since they were younger, who also were athletes at one point in their life, and you give them a chance to, be a WWE superstar. I think third would probably be I Show Speed, because the way he took that spear off of somebody who has had no training and barely knew how to bump was pretty good.
I was going to say, if you want to put a third celebrity in there, who I think you could put up there with the Bad Bunnies and the Logan Pauls, look at BDE, the guy from TNA. He's the same situation.
Yeah, but first off, he's annoying. I don't like his gimmick. I don't. And maybe that biases me, but I wasn't a big Logan Paul fan either, based on his, previous exploits.
Yeah.
But he made me a fan within his first couple matches, and that's the difference between him and BDE and the similarity with him and Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny in his 2 matches showed you that he's all in when WWE calls. Logan Paul in his first 2 matches showed you he is all in. BDE has been on the TNA roster for how long? And I'm still like, meh.
I think I read something. He's I think it's next week on TNA. He's in that Fatal 4-Way for the More Contendership for the tag titles.
Okay.
I think it's him. He's paired with Rich Swann.
I can see that. Because Rich Swann can pick up all of BDE's slack.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see that.
And he makes BDE not so annoying. Like, oh, BDE's on my screen, but Rich Swann's on my screen. All right.
I just pop at the fact of, for the system, the 2 guys in the match is Brian Myers and Bear Bronson. Might as well just call them Creator Pro.
Right.
Pretty much.
Might as well just call them the Creator Pro team.
Team Caw. Create a wrestler.
But I like the conversation, guys. Obviously, we're going to keep things going here. But we're actually going to, if I can find the link, prior to the show, we got a
Lord, here we go.
Sent to the Around the Ropes official page from our very own Mr. Kevin Wilson. His specific message was, John, please play this video. Now, I don't know what this video is. I did not see this video beforehand. And I think Ray and Jay can kind of agree with me on this one. Neither of them have seen it as well.
So we don't know if this is a new Wilson's Corner.
I have no idea. I was just told by the man behind the camera to play this video.
Check it out.
So without further ado, guys, let's send it over to Mr. Wilson, I guess. And then we'll be right back right after that. You're watching or listening to the Around the Ropes radio show. We'll be right back right after this.
Yeah.
And we are back live right here at the Out Rules Radio Show. Guys, thoughts?
Fucking Christ. I mean, touche. Well done. I mean, I was psyched. I thought it was an episode 2 of Wilson's Corner, and it was a teaser.
He's very good at teasing us, I've come to realization.
Yeah.
It's like putting a Tootsie Roll, it's like putting a Twinkie in front of the fat kid.
Dude, cake on a string, man. Cake on a string.
But guys, obviously, we want to thank Kevin for chiming in tonight with his stuff. I want to get back to the comments here.
Do we, though? Do we really want? I mean, yeah, okay. Thanks, Kev. Teaser.
David over on YouTube says that's why a lot of great technically sounded wrestlers are overlooked. Great in the ring, great presence, but not so great on the mic.
Yeah. No, Cesaro syndrome. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, Jay, we've spoken about it before. How many guys and girls that we saw in the independent scene, especially, in the New York, New Jersey area.
Plenty.
That we've said, you and I have said the last couple of weeks, why are we seeing this person or we're seeing this person who fit every mold, everything what David just said.
I just think it's more on the recruiting base. I don't think they're necessarily out there like there was a few years back, and they get overlooked, man. I mean, how long did it just take for TNA to look at Vicious Vicky? How long did that take? That was like way overdue, right? So I just think they're not out there. I don't think they're like you and me and Ray going to those indie shows and sort of support. I think it just kind of stopped that, and they just said, you know what? If you're in college and you got gymnastics or you play football or baseball, we're just going to mold you and we're just going to make you, hopefully, 1 out of the 20s comes out to be a superstar.
Yeah, and that's...
Yeah, I think they're, I think now, and I think for a little while now, WWE is playing the game of quantity over quality, where they have cast a wide net of anybody and see what they pick up. That goes to speaking about picking up, former college athletes and everything like that. Whereas 15, 20 years ago, WWE was selective with who they allowed to be in their organization, who they gave a contract to.
Those top free agents.
Yeah, like I remember how big of a deal it was when Samoa Joe posted a picture of himself holding a medicine ball in a cutoff NXT shirt because he was training before his TV debut on NXT.
Unfortunately, I think the problem is when it comes to a lot of these, when it comes to how they look, they're looking more for who's going to get butts in the seats.
Yeah, which and I don't know why they think that if they were to sign, I don't know if they were to sign Moose, right? If Moose is a free agent and they sign him, why they don't think Moose would put butts in seats? I just to me it is mind-boggling that you have these big name free agents from all over the wrestling world, and you do nothing with them. You don't even attempt to. You say, I'm just going to deal with my, Division III linebacker.
Very selected.
I think half the problem is also it's who they can mold. And Ray, you said it before though. It's like who they can mold and who they can put through the PC. Because how many times have we seen it now where we see them sign certain people, and a lot of times they don't go through NXT.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, case in point, look at AJ Styles. AJ Styles never went through NXT.
No, AJ didn't, which is weird. But I think that was part of his contract, and the fact that he got away with it, and they realized how big of a star he actually is. I mean, that's huge. For whatever reason, why they felt they needed to get the TNA stink off of Samoa Joe and put him down in NXT for, and I don't know, and get the ROH stink off of Kevin Owens.
I think the issue is, I think the way they looked at it as, you have more of the casual fan who's watching the more mainstream stuff, the Raws and the SmackDowns, and NXT, especially going back to when, Ray, what you were talking about, 10, 15 years ago, NXT, even back then, was more for the hardcore fans who would have known the Samoa Joes, the James Storms, the Eric Youngs, where if they would have brought, let's say, case in point, let's say they would have brought up, okay, I'll throw it this way. Let's say they would have brought up, I'm trying to think of a name here, who went, trying to think of somebody who they would, an example here.
Hey, so this is a prime example of when you go to give an example, know what example you're going to give.
I know, I literally just had it in my head. All I know is this. Okay, Bobby Roode. That's what I want to go with.
There we go. Okay.
Bobby Roode. You turn around and bring Bobby Roode from TNA right to the main roster, nobody would know who he is. I feel like you bring him down to NXT, at least you can get some notoriety, I guess.
So what you're saying is that Bobby Roode and Beer Money didn't have the notoriety that an AJ Styles would, or that I can't even say Samoa Joe, because Samoa Joe went down to
think about this way. Styles, I feel like with Beer Money, unless you're a hardcore fan and you watched TNA back in the day, you're not going to know who Beer Money was. Now, AJ Styles, on the other hand, AJ Styles was in Bullet Club. We all know how big Bullet Club was.
Mm-hmm.
I think somebody like Styles can bring more name value. Like, okay, Jay, you said it before about with Abyss, okay? If they would have brought Abyss in, hi, Billy.
Good evening, gentlemen, from Billy and Wolf. Well, good evening, Billy. Another friend of the show.
Yep. And then, we got Costa in the chat.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there, John. And then Costa over on Facebook says, those wrestlers that you mentioned technically didn't need NXT.
Okay, then how come somebody like Nakamura? Did Nakamura need NXT?
No.
No. Did he go to NXT? Yes.
Yeah. Did Sami Zayn need an NXT?
I'm going to say yes, because nobody knew him as Sami Zayn. He was El Generico and wrestled with a mask on, John.
Yeah, whatever happened to El Generico?
Oh, he's off running an orphanage in Bolivia, I think.
Bolivia.
Yeah, it was like
that's what the note said that he left.
Wow, yeah, I forgot. Being back on Facebook now, we got everybody coming out of the woodworks tonight.
Yeah, everybody is enjoying the fact that we're back from our little hiatus over on Facebook. Andrew Elder says they're back, baby. Yes, we are, baby.
Yes, we are, and
boys are back in town.
Actually, it's funny. I'm actually wearing that shirt right now.
Woo!
Nope, that looks like a new
fire
shirt to me.
But no, I mean, we go through down the whole list of people, of anybody who's been through NXT, who made it to the main roster. Did they need it? Did they not need it? We can go through an entire list of everybody.
Oh, you absolutely could. You could.
My thing is this, though. I mean, now here's.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna post this one from Billy. Billy said El Generico is going to join the Americano battle.
You know what's funny?
I think I know she's joking, but bro,
let it happen.
Bro.
No, it's funny though that Billy said that, because I heard a few people who said if WWE wants to do this the right way, you have him all of a sudden, and they reenact the Spider-Man meme. Oh God, why is Greek Savage in here? Oh,
because we're back on Facebook, baby. That's why.
He goes, John, I paid to watch you shovel. No, you would not.
$30 an hour.
Uh-oh.
But yeah. But I've heard a few people say about the El Generico thing being involved in the El Grande Americano.
The Americano Square storyline.
I got it. WrestleMania. El Grande Americano versus the original El Grande Americano, and the special guest referee, El Generico.
And we're gonna put it at WrestleMania.
Or El Generico comes down and costs Americano the match.
Let him main event.
Let him main event.
Wait, main event WrestleMania or main event?
Main event WrestleMania.
I mean, listen. Everybody else is getting injured. Why not? Listen. Can I say something about? And I know we were talking about this before the show aired, but not being here for a couple weeks and not watching wrestling for a couple weeks, it alters your perspective. And I will say that when watching and catching up on Raw from last night, I'm over it, bro. I'm sure it's fun for the people that are in the audience, but as somebody sitting at home, just do the heel turn already, because it's annoying and it's stupid. You have one of the longest entrances as it is. Now you want us to do it twice? Like,
you don't get to do that.
I mean, come on. I'm over it. I am so over it. It visibly makes me it makes me so angry and aggravated when I see that. It just, why?
They're gonna do that to Chamber, which, by the way, guys, in hour number 2, we will be giving you our predictions.
Ooh.
As we're on the last stop before Mania.
Some might even say it's the go home.
There was a lot of other stuff that I didn't understand, and I want you two guys to explain it to me about Natty versus Maxine Dupree. What did I watch on that match? What happened, guys? I need your takes, because
I thought it was pretty entertaining, her doing her impression of Johnny Gargano face down on the mat, on the outside mat, not the canvas, where she did her depressed Johnny impression. I thought that was great. I got a chuckle out of it. I feel like I don't know what's going on right now, to be honest, and I feel like it could have gone in such a better direction and had more meat to flesh out this storyline between the two of them. Like, why all of a sudden, why literally you're showing a training montage one week, and then the following week, arguably during the biggest match, you have Natty just turn on her out of the blue. Like, what?
I thought when they did that, I thought they were setting up something for Mania. I thought that's where they were going. I mean, we said it, Ray. We said it last week on here. We were kind of going over how we would book the card, and I said, why not do a fatal 4-way for the women's IC title? And the 4 people I mentioned, obviously, was Becky, AJ Lee, Maxine, and Natty.
As much as I love AJ, no to AJ holding a title. No part-timers holding titles, John.
No, I'm not saying that AJ should win. I'm just saying that should be their matchup going to Mania. And the fact that I feel like they kind of rushed this whole Maxine and Natty thing, I'm like, so what are you going to do? Have both of them just be in the Rumble at Mania? Then I'll be like, oh, okay. Then,
take them out of WrestleMania. Take them out. Don't even include them.
I mean, I'm all for including everybody and giving them a WrestleMania check. Like, come on.
I mean, back when they actually gave WrestleMania checks.
You don't think they still give WrestleMania checks?
Not, I don't think.
Well, no, with TKO, and you're probably right. No, because TKO does Fight of the Night.
Yeah, but I don't. But especially now that you don't really have the pay-per-views anymore, and it's all streaming.
To the point.
I hate to break it to you, but you still have to pay to watch the pay-per-view if you do not have ESPN. If you do not have the ESPN standalone app, you still have to pay for the pay-per-view.
Oh, I didn't know. Good point.
Point correct.
Comment section here.
Well, hold on. Now, see, now you got me thinking, and I wasn't going to bring this up, but now we mentioned TKO and the ownership, and you kind of alluded to what previous ownership did as far as WrestleMania checks. And I got to tell you, I have been seeing more and more and more articles that are alluding to, sources say, blah, 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 that Vince McMahon and a couple Saudi princes are looking into buying back WWE from TKO and going back to private. Now, listen, Linda. The only way that I am all for that is if they bring back the WWE Network.
Never gonna happen.
I find it absolutely ridiculous. This is going to get me going on a whole nother rant, and I don't want it to, but I find it absolutely ridiculous that in the year of our Lord, 2026, we cannot watch every single thing wrestling related like we used to 10 years ago with the introduction of the WWE Network. Could watch every single episode of Raw if I wanted to. Can't do that now.
Nope.
I thought the whole point was to progress. They absolutely did not. They have not. They have prioritized money over their fans so many times. And they continue to do it. And we as fans let them. Because we don't stop talking about the product. We don't stop watching the product. We don't stop buying anything related to the product. So what the hell do they care?
No, I see what you're saying. Because, like, I know I just recently went through Netflix just to see, what they brought over. And you're right. Yeah, they didn't bring over every Raw. But here's the funny thing. They did bring over a pay-per-view to Netflix, which I didn't even know they still had out. Over the Edge 99.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Hey, which match card was that?
It had Stone Cold.
Oh my God! I know what.
Yeah, they have that.
It just dawned on me.
Yeah, I thought that pay-per-view was like, and I was going to bring this up the last couple of weeks, but I totally slipped my mind until now since we're talking about it now. But yeah, I looked it through, and I mean, granted, what I do like though with the setup now with Netflix is how you can go to like the Unforgiven folder and it gives you every Unforgiven. WrestleMania, same thing. But I also was looking at one day.
You know who else did that, John? The WWE Network.
Yeah, but I was looking. I'm like, over the Edge 99. I'm like, they didn't bring back more. I was watching it.
I can't believe that like it took me that long to. I didn't even finish typing the question into the Google machine. It like all of a sudden it just hit me like a brick. Like, oh, over the Edge 99.
Yeah, and the
part of me wants to go. Well, are you surprised?
No,
because I feel like any chance that they can stick it to the Hart family, ever since AEW has put the Hart family on a pedestal that they so richly deserve, by the way, that WWE almost takes every shot that they can at the Hart family now.
Yeah, but the one thing I will say, though, I watched the beginning of it because I was like, I want to see how they address it.
And
they actually show a graphic in the beginning saying, rest in peace, Owen Hart. And they put in the bottom part says, he tragically passed away during this broadcast. I'm like, oh. But I thought that was one of those
that didn't have to go on.
But I thought that was one of those pay-per-views that once it happened, I thought it was one of those things that, like, they just kind of put away and,
just like almost every Chris Benoit pay-per-view that he main evented and won.
Yeah. Oh, don't kid yourself. You probably can go back and watch. I mean, I guarantee you go back and watch Wrestlemania 20. I guarantee you Benoit's, if I remember correctly, he's in the match with he's in the triple threat match.
Yeah.
He's probably in that match, not blurred out, nothing.
I'm not sure if that I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
Let's get to
There's such I gotta tell you, like, it's so difficult, I'm finding, to pose these questions to people, because people are like, well, if you are looking at his body of work, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I understand that his body of work says that he should be in the Hall of Fame. However, what he did as a person overshadows and overrules all of that. That's only the equivalent of that, and it's going to be a very dramatic equivalent. The equivalent of that is saying, oh, all of Hitler's paintings should be hanging up in the Louvre. No matter how good of a painter he was. You know why? Because what he did as a person overshadows and overrules it.
Let's get to some comments here, shall we? Before Ray loses his voice.
Let it out.
Fine.
Costa turns around and goes, nah, that's fake.
He was talking about the stories of whether or not Vince is going to try to buy back WWE from TKO.
Here's an interesting question. Who do you guys got challenging Lesnar at Mania? As we found out last night, Lesnar will be having another challenge. Before we get to that, do you want to get to one of the comments here? Andrew says, I'll watch everything tomorrow. Tonight is Gilmore Girls night with the missus.
Gilmore Girls night.
Gilmore Girls is good. I started watching Dawson's Creek again and One Tree Hill. One Tree Hill is by far, in my opinion, outshadows all three of those. Sorry.
You know why I say that? You know why? I'm more of a Gilmore Girls fan than anything.
I'm
not surprised.
I'm a party of five.
Ooh. That was a good one.
Party of five.
I'll still put One Tree Hill up against all of them, and One Tree Hill still will come out on top.
Obviously, rest in peace, James Vanderbeek.
Saw Varsity Blues the other day.
Yeah. David over in the UK says the one downside to having WWE on Netflix in the UK is you can no longer watch the old ECW content like you could.
Oh, wow.
Why?
Can I watch WCW 99 to year 2000?
I want to know why they took off the ECW content.
I've been dying to watch WCW the last year before they left out of business.
Bro, so one of the worst years. It's like stuff to watch.
Right, that whole New Blood, the whole New Blood story.
The New Blood storyline, they could have made it, man. They could have made it. But then, like, they started giving contracts to everybody. Then everybody had creative control. You got Vampiro and Sting fighting on the top of the Jumbotron, and, like, one of them falling, the other one almost falling, but not. And he was the one that was supposed to fall. Like, I was still on my edge of my seat every Monday during that last 2001 year.
Yeah. WCW. What could have been?
What could have been? Real quick, do you guys think that going back to the whole Lesnar at Mania thing, you think Heyman just drops the vision?
No.
And just goes back to being with Brock?
No, because I don't think we're going to be seeing Brock that much after Mania.
Pretty much.
You know, what if somehow Brock gets into the CM Punk Roman Reigns match? They find a way to finagle him in. Not saying he's going to win, but now you have a match with all Heyman guys, right? What if we see Heyman turn on Brock again? Yeah, he's turned on Brock for Big Show.
And join who?
What if he went back with Roman, and that's how we get the start of the fourth inning? Because remember, Paul and Roman said that they were only in the third inning of the Bloodline storyline in their last pay-per-view conference.
I don't know.
So we still got 6 more innings, unless he was talking about little, Pee Wee, because I think Pee Wee only has 3 innings. So, I mean, if he was talking about T-Ball and Pee Wee, then the storyline's done and gone.
Should the Vision bring a new member just to kind of make it more interesting to buy time?
No.
Okay, but who would be the new member of the Vision? I think I have somebody in mind that could be the new member of the Vision and pick up right where they left off with Braun and Bronson. You haven't seen him for like 15 months on TV. Montez Ford.
Possibly.
Good choice. I'm just trying to see how he would fit, but good choice.
I mean, I would say make him the man in the mask, but video from last week's Raw in the stands, you can clearly tell that the masked man is fucking Grayson Waller.
But I heard that was supposedly he was a stand-in.
I guess.
I heard he was a stand-in with that one, so I don't know, to be honest. I think at this point, you lost Seth, you lost Braun, and now you lost Bronson Reed. I think at this point, I hate to say it, you shelve the whole Vision thing at this point.
You do. You have them in a number one contenders match for the tag team titles at Elimination Chamber. Have them lose to Brutus and Caesar. No, Brutus and his brother. And then just have Paul talk about how much of losers they are, and then they just split off and go their own ways.
We can't do that though, because this show has been built around the Vision. You can't just say, "Oh, let's drop it."
Yeah, but Jay,
you could argue that the show's been built around Paul Heyman. It was always Paul Heyman and his conflict with Adam Pearce.
Yeah.
So you could have Heyman be with Brock, Roman, or Punk, and still have that. That was after Braun went out on injury, Paul Heyman was the one that was the most entertaining part of the Vision. Not Bronson, even though he was second in line.
So we just say, "Hey, Paul, have the mic for at least 3-4 months till Braun gets back." Just drag it out.
I just think the problem is
you don't have enough people to do that.
Yeah, and here's the thing also, Jay. When you look at, with what you said before about bringing somebody else in, who are you going to bring in at this point?
Montez.
Because you just said Montez.
Yeah, but even that, though, at this point, I think that group was centered around Braun and Bronson Reed.
Just like the show. I just can't see the Judgment Day every week just carrying the 99% or 95%.
Actually, you bring up the Judgment Day. We're going to go to a commercial break here in a second. And I have a little bit of an issue I have to bring up with with a segment from last night. So we'll be right back right after this. And also, guys, we'll get you guys ready for Elimination Chamber as well.
Yeah.
And you know what, Ray? Because it's the first time all three of us been in the same room, Why don't we hear from our good friends over at Flow?
Flow!
Be right back right after this.
Love that
And
song.
we are back live here on the On the Ropes Radio Show. As you guys know, you guys can find us. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. Yes, guys, we are back on Facebook. Also, before I forget, I do want to thank our sponsor. Yes, I know, guys, we're officially made it big leagues now. Simply Greens.
Yeah.
As I've said this before in posts, but Simply Green is our new official sponsor. Go check them out if you're in the Coram area on Long Island. In due time, I know they will be starting to do deliveries, so definitely stay tuned for that. And definitely go check them out. If you're into THC, cannabis, any of that stuff, go check them out. They are a great group of guys.
Yeah.
I just want to give them a shout out and thank them once again for sponsoring the On the Ropes Radio Show.
Real quick, I know that we were talking about the Rockers and Shawn Michaels and who's Shawn Michaels, who's Marty Jannetty out of the Vision. I got to tell you, the more that I see JC Jane, the more that I absolutely am like, she is the female Shawn Michaels, and why is she not on the main roster? Also, the Sol Ruka JC Jane is on match. It hasn't even started, and wow, Sol has been decimated. Zarya turned on her during the introductions.
Took 2 years, but we got there.
Oh my God, that was a vicious elbow strike, and JC Jane is the winner. So JC has retained her title.
I guess now Sol gets called up to the main roster.
No, I think they're going to flesh out this Zarya Sol feud.
Stand and deliver.
No, what's their newest the next one that they got coming up in March?
Vengeance.
What was it? Vengeance. Yeah, Vengeance.
Nah.
Vengeance Day. That's what it was. Yeah, she is hurting on Sol right now.
Zarya.
5'd her onto the announce table. The announce table didn't even buckle.
But yeah, I want to bring up something from Monday Night Raw last night that kind of pissed me off a little bit.
Okay.
Right.
Now, I may be overthinking this, and I may and Ray's probably going to give his logic and explain why I'm probably overthinking this whole thing.
Oh, I can't do that until I know what it is.
When Liv Morgan came out, and obviously she came out with Dirty Dom, and I have no issues with that. My issue is this. Why are you going to sit there and say, oh, Liv Morgan, your 2026 Royal Rumble winner, is coming out with Dirty Dom? Like, no mention of the fact that he's your IC title holder. He's your current AAA mega champion.
Pause, please. Pause, please. John, who was the segment centered around?
Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan. Say it again. Who was the segment centered around?
Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan. Has it sunk in yet?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Okay.
This is what I said.
But they got to put a little pizzazz on it, don't you think?
No,
Well,
the segment wasn't about Dom, and you don't want any of the focus put on Dom for that segment.
We're going into March this week, and we haven't even started a storyline with the IC men's title.
Not even close.
Just right. Something.
You know what? At this point, this is what I think should happen at WrestleMania. Obafemi versus Dom for the IC title. Oba wins.
Ooh.
For the open challenge with Lesnar, I know everybody's like, oh, Oba. How about Javon Evans with Evans going over on Brock Lesnar?
I would love to see that.
I know.
But I would have to really wish. That would be like an early Christmas gift, I would have to say now. Just do that. Forget about me Christmas.
And Joseph over in Facebook already answered your question. Because it's about the women's stuff, not the Dom stuff.
I'm just saying he holds a belt.
Okay.
Hey, yes, fantastic. I'm glad he holds a belt. He actually holds 2 belts. Okay? If you want to get technical. He holds 2 belts, but the segment wasn't about him. He is literally there to be Liv's eye candy. That is the whole point why he is there.
So what do we do with Dom after Elimination Chamber? We got to start something. What do we do?
Stick him down in AAA.
Oh, we already do that.
No. But I mean, keep him down in. This is what I wish they would have done with Andrade. Okay. Instead of letting him go, I would have let him go down. I would have had him go down to AAA and just do in AAA what AJ Styles did when he was in the Bullet Club in New Japan, what Finn did when he was in New Japan as the leader of the Bullet Club. Just have him put on good matches and dominate and be a fucking heel.
You mean like what he's doing out in AEW?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, essentially, yes. But with a higher success rate, because I feel like they have him jobbing out. Like they brought him in, and okay, his first match is against Hangman Adam Page for a shot at the number 1 contenders match, and then it's against Kenny Omega. Like he's not winning those.
Yeah.
Joseph over on Facebook says, I almost was there on Raw, but you didn't see him around Dom.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what it is.
No, the one thing I did like though was the one shot backstage where you had Jeremy Borash and you had what's his face, Petey Williams.
Oh right, the TNA connection right there.
And all of a sudden you see this hand on Borash's shoulder, and you see the camera just pan up, and it's like, oh, I forgot you're still with the company.
Yeah, right. But as far as where we go with the IC title and where we go with Dom, personally, I feel that is how I would take care of that situation. Oba's already a star. The crowd loves him. You saw that at WrestleMania. You see that when he comes out on TV. Give him the IC title. Stick Dom in AAA. Make him a heel. Give him a stable. And just let him run raucous, right? Make him the longest reigning AAA mega champion in the history of AAA, and just have him being a heel and winning heel ways. Okay? And then you give Javon Evans a push to the moon, and you're consistent with it when you have him go over Brock Lesnar in Brock's open challenge. But hey, what do I know?
Why would he do?
Yeah,
Let's do it differently. Let's do it differently. How about we give the IC title to Penta? Penta versus Dom at WrestleMania. You make the switch. Then we stick Dom in AAA, carrying that show at least for another year.
I love Penta.
Super over.
So sick of Penta versus Dom.
But if you do it right,
we've been doing Penta versus Dom for 3 years, and Penta hasn't even been in the company that long.
But if you do it right, if you put, let's say, a ladder,
they lost the chance to do it right, though. That's the thing.
Could make it up, just like Goldberg and Brock Lesnar. Make it up.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
That was a joke, right? Please tell me that was a joke.
That's Jay rolling the grenade and just closing the door.
Good Lord. I don't even know what to say to that.
Oh my God.
Joseph says, because Penta fought Dom 5 times in 2025.
Exactly.
Lost every time.
The big one at WrestleMania. The big win.
I think that you should have Penta either follow Dom down to AAA, or you bring the Lucha Brothers in to feud with the Creed Brothers after the Creed Brothers take the tag team titles from Jey Uso at WrestleMania.
What?
And I say Jey Uso because they come out to Jay's music, they do the stupid thing, and then they no. I'm tired of, first off, I'm tired of Big Jim not getting his due when the whole bloodline kicked off because the whole bloodline storyline kicked off because of Big Jim.
I'm just thinking as you guys talking, like WrestleMania is for moments. We need moments. I think we need a moment with Penta. I think we need to do an emergency red button on Rey Fenix because he looks completely lost on SmackDown. I think we need to make Oba and Brock the way it's supposed to be. I just don't like how they're doing it right now. I hate the booking of it, completely honest.
I don't think Oba creates a moment.
So let's say you guys don't like Penta, right? Let's make Javon Evans into that spot. Why not give him the IC title?
Joseph over on Facebook says Solo versus Brock would be cool.
Solo got a lot of things he's doing right now.
I was going to say Solo does have a lot of things going on, but
anything's possible.
I mean, we're also talking about.
It's just something that I haven't thought of.
What y'all think? Javon Evans takes the belt off Dom. WrestleMania.
I like Oba taking the belt off Dom more, not because I thought of it, but because for me, I feel like it makes more sense. And then you have Javon go over Brock because that is a moment. You mean to tell me that a still photo of Javon Evans in midair getting ready to hit the OG cutter on Brock for the 1, 2, 3 isn't a WrestleMania moment?
It's a WrestleMania moment, but TKO will look at it as this is not a big money match. I can't sell this compared to Oba.
Listen, if we're talking TKO and what TKO deems a big money match, then let's just fucking put Brock and Roman every match on every pay-per-view.
And they tried.
And that's
it. Tried.
But here's the thing also, bring up what both of you guys are saying. I think you can easily do something where you still have Oba get the IC title, Javon goes over on Brock, and then somehow you have Javon chase Oba.
Oh, you can absolutely have Javon chase Oba because you can have Javon come out the Monday after WrestleMania and talk about how good it feels to finally get that big win and, blah, 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 and talk about his close calls when he almost defeated Gunther in the My Time Is Now tournament, this, that, and the third, and talk about the fact that he never beat Oba in NXT either. And so now it's it's his time. It's his time to make good on that, and throw in the IC title. That's just an extra bonus, and then you can have Oba and Javon be off to the races for a good 6 months.
I think you have that culminate at SummerSlam.
Absolutely.
I think
or Survivor Series.
Why do I throw a curveball and I just say Randy Orton steps up to Brock Lesnar? Look at the first match. Got busted open, left in his pool of his own blood.
Yeah, Randy asked for that, though.
But hey, wouldn't it be good? Vengeance? Like, now it's my turn. I got to do something with Randy. I just can't leave him out of WrestleMania. I'm not going to put him in the title picture, right? So I got to do something with him.
Who holds the US title?
Carmelo.
Have him face Carmelo. Have him challenge for the US title, or have him and Trick travel.
That's what I was thinking. Him and
go
Trick.
for the US title and have Randy take the pin. Randy has been around so long and is so beloved, whether he's heel or face, that he's Teflon. So the him taking the pin, it wouldn't hurt him in any way, shape, or form, as opposed to Carmelo or if Trick took the pin. It would hurt. We would look at it as it hurting their momentum. So we have Randy take the pin. There you go.
And it's funny because Joseph over on Facebook says Brock versus Trick Williams. You know, I read somewhere who else wants to
read?
Brock? Yes, I can read.
Nice.
You know, also I heard who wants to go after Brock for his open challenge. Big Vito.
Big Vito.
From the guy who used to wrestle in WCW in the dress.
Yeah, I know Big Vito.
I know who Big Vito is, but
he wants to wrestle Brock Lesnar.
What?
Yeah, because he thinks he is somebody now.
He told you that?
Oh, God, no. He's too busy dealing with Vince Russo over on whatchamacallit, Juggalo's Championship Wrestling now.
Macarena.
Wait, Big Vito is part of JCW?
Yeah. Because they're doing this whole storyline that he's something with the investor or something.
He's an investor?
And the two big things right now are him and Vince Russo. I'm like, wow, this is WCW from 1998.
Wow.
You know, I've been seeing a lot.
I have a quick question, and it pertains to Javon Evans.
Oh.
Do you think, I personally will tell you what I think afterwards, but did you guys hear about the Kevin Nash comments with Javon Evans? And if you're not familiar with it, I will tell you that he was asked about Javon Evans, and he said he likes Javon Evans. He's seen Javon Evans work at the PC. Big fan of him. But right now, I feel like they have him doing the Mr. Bojangles shtick. Now, there was an uproar because of it, and he had to issue an apology because he mentioned Mr. Bojangles, which is, a racially insensitive term, while referring to Javon Evans, who, as we know, is a black man, a young black man, which this country seems to have a problem with on a daily basis. But my thing is, in the context of what he said, A, I don't think it's as disparaging as people made it out to be. And B, I don't think he's wrong. Because when he was talking about Mr. Bojangles, the whole point of Bojangles was to be a black minstrel performer that was there to appease the crowd and be all of those things that the white audience wanted to see, right? And I can't stop thinking about it because that's kind of what they are doing to Javon Evans. They've got him happy to be here out there, shaking hands and kissing babies. Why doesn't he have an edge? With all of the losses that they have made him accumulate in such a short time, he should have an edge. He shouldn't still be out there kissing hands and shaking babies. I mean, shaking babies and kissing hands. Kissing babies and shaking hands.
3 times the charm.
Listen, shut up, John.
So you're shaking babies now?
What?
You're shaking babies now?
I mean, if we want him to have an edge, why not?
I think to answer your question, I hate to say this, and I hate to use this such a wrestling lingo here, but I think you have to trust the process. I think they're trying to figure out. I mean, yes, we know who Javon Evans was in NXT, but now that he's on the main roster, I think
He's been on the main roster since December, and he had a hell of a showing in the My Time Is Now tournament against Gunther. I almost said his old name. I just cannot disagree with the spirit in which Kevin Nash's comments came out.
Well, let's get before we get to let's just get to some of the comments here from Joseph, because Joseph seems to be very vocal tonight, which I appreciate that. Believe me.
We always do, especially on our first day back on Facebook Live, baby.
He goes, I heard it was going to be LA Knight versus Brock, to be honest.
So listen, I would be okay with that if it involves LA Knight going over Brock and reignites his push for the title. Because right now, who's Drew really feuding with?
Everyone.
So nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
Move Knight to SmackDown after Mania, because we're supposed to have the draft after Mania, right? That's the whole point. Mania shuts down storylines or creates them for the rest of the year. So do it. Have Knight go over Brock. Have it reignite the rocket that should have been strapped to his back from the day he walked into the company, and have it culminating with him versus Drew. This is the heavyweight title, so you're looking at about a 6-month push, Survivor Series, or maybe whatever pay-per-view they have in December.
It's possible, but I just want to get to the other comments here. He also says, what about Dom versus JD versus Balor at WrestleMania for the IC title?
No, I don't want to see Balor in the... I do not want to see Balor in anything other than a heavyweight title picture. I'm sorry. That is another person that they have put their thumb on for far too long.
It's going to be very interesting. But guys, we're going to go back to, in case you missed it from the first hour, we're going to play this teaser or this cryptic video from Mr. Kevin Wilson. And then we come back, guys, we're going to have you guys, we're going to get you guys ready for Elimination Chamber, which is happening this coming Saturday, live from Chicago. So guys, hang tight. We'll be right back right after this. You are listening or watching the Under Oath Radio Show.
Or both.
we are back live right here on your Unroofed Radio Show. As always, you guys know where to find us. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and yes, guys, we'll be back on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and anywhere else you get your podcasts within the next couple weeks as well. Guys, just like I said before, just bear with us. We're trying to regain a lot of stuff back and trying to give you guys a more crisper product here. Even though we are in year 5 of this, right? But, like I said, we got as many changes as the show has, you're still making changes even 5 years into it. But I want to get into the Elimination Chamber. Obviously, that's coming up this weekend.
You have the card up?
I do.
Right. Oh, okay. Before we get into that, looks like we got a comment coming in here. Oh. Kevin Wilson definitely channeling his inner Wyatt 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's not wrong. That is very Wilson 6-ish.
And to people who are listening to the podcast, and aren't watching it, when you hear that part beforehand, I should have mentioned this beforehand, there's not an issue with your system. That's just ask Kevin Wilson. Because I thought about it while we were watching. I'm like, what are we going to do if somebody's listening to it later on? And for a good minute, all they hear is that.
I mean, yeah. Don't say it too loud because he'll create another teaser video that's going to have like that stupid annoying sound from Dumb and Dumber. You want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Hey, for us behind the scenes.
All right.
Yeah,
we're heading into the last 33 minutes of the show. Let's go with our Elimination Chamber predictions. I'll read off the match card. We'll do singles matches. We'll just do Elimination Chamber matches first. We have the Women's Elimination Chamber match because we know that that's what's going to start the show, where the winner earns a title shot at WrestleMania 42 against the Women's World Champion. Your competitors are as follows: Tiffany Stratton, Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Kiana James, and Raquel Rodriguez.
Jay, I'll have you go first with this one.
As much as this pains Jay to say this, I'm going to say Tiffany Stratton.
Really? You think Tiff's going to go over?
Yes.
Okay. John?
For me, as much as I would love for it to be Tiffany, I feel like we've been down that road already. And as much as I think, I can't think somebody like Kiana James being in that mix. But who I could very easily see, and I think her and Jade could put on a very good match at Mania, Raquel Rodriguez.
Okay.
Or I'm going to throw this scenario. Again, keep it with Raquel winning. What if Raquel doesn't pick Jade as her WrestleMania opponent?
Well, I mean, if Liv wins, then I can absolutely see Raquel picking, because that's what they've been foreshadowing at this entire time.
But hear me out, though. What happens if they turn around and they do it another way to get Jade her opponent, but also the triple threat match for Stephanie's title becomes Stephanie, Liv, Raquel?
No, because the whole point of Elimination Chamber is to, no, they don't get to pick who they're going after. The point of Elimination Chamber is to be the opponent for the champion that wasn't picked by the Royal Rumble winner.
I get that. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
No, it's not, because then it defeats the whole purpose of the Elimination Chamber.
Look at the company we're talking about here.
I understand that, but the one thing that we have always stuck with is the stipulations of their matches.
That's why I still stick with Raquel as my winner. And I think Raquel, Jade, and I think honestly, Raquel wins. It could cause a very interesting dynamic.
John, I ask you this because you pick Raquel. From what you've seen from Raquel the last few weeks in her matches, can you honestly say that you could her in that spot against Jade.
Compared to who else is there? Yeah, absolutely.
No. The answer is no. You need
All right,
someone to hide Jade's flaws, and I think Tiffany can do that just by herself.
All right, listen. Who do I want to win the Women's Elimination Chamber match? Kiana James. I think Kiana James has proven time and time again, especially in the last month of all of the TV time that she has had, that she can be relied upon. I also think out of all of the newer crop of girls that have come up, she's the most solid. Okay. Who I think will win the Elimination Chamber match would be Alexa. Who I think they will have win the Elimination Chamber match. I think it's Alexa Bliss to go up against Jade to do exactly what Jay said, cover Jade's flaws. With Alexa being having the size disadvantage as she does, she can help Jade a lot with those power moves and mask any. She's been around long enough where she can mask any botches, if you will. So I would like to see Kiana James win. I think Alexa Bliss will absolutely win. We've already seen Jade versus Rhea, with Rhea coming out on top. So,
So no matter who we pick, one is going to suffer.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's what
And you don't know what to do.
Yeah, that's what makes the chamber matches so tough to predict.
Absolutely. All right, now we're going to go to the Women's Intercontinental Championship match, which is your champion, Becky Lynch, the greatest of all time. And it's not just her saying that. It's Bleacher Report and Sports Illustrated versus AJ Lee. Do you think they pull the trigger and put the title on AJ Lee, even though she's part-time? But then you could also look at it this way. What if she's full-time up until Mania? They have their rematch at Mania. Becky wins, and then AJ goes into part-time, and it doesn't hurt anything.
I would have to, Ray, agree with you on that, just for the fact of where they are. If they were anyplace else, let's say they were in Boston or New York or Philly, then no, I couldn't see them doing that. But they're in Chicago, and I think this is her first singles match.
It is
2014, I think.
Yeah, it's her first singles match in over a decade. So yes, but also don't forget, this company likes to have people lose in their hometown.
Yes, you're not wrong on that. But I think you either, to me, I think it's going to be one of two ways. Either AJ wins, so you get that moment with her with the belt. Obviously, for her then to drop it back to Becky.
I'm sorry, hold on, pause. Did you say only one of two things can happen?
Yeah, well, because the other.
Yeah, because there's only two outcomes, and you can't have them both at the same time. That's welcome to the Department of Redundancy department.
What I was trying to say,
good Lord,
is if you don't do that route, then the other one I could see happening is Becky wins by some sort of fugazi finish.
A dusty finish?
Yeah.
I got AJ winning by DQ, setting up the rematch at Wrestlemania.
Yeah.
AJ doesn't want to win like that. If you hear her promos.
Right. And then she's in every instance that she has faced Becky, whether it's mixed tag team, she's won, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Have her go to Mania and Becky go over clean. Exactly. It's not going to hurt AJ.
No.
People will be happy anytime AJ shows up on their screen for a multitude of reasons. Anyway, the next match in our lineup is, of course, the men's Elimination Chamber match. Your contestants, your participants, if you will, Randy Orton LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, baby. Javon Evans, Trick Daddy, and Jey Uso.
This one is good. This one, I think, if I had to put this one against the women's, I think this one's actually tougher. Because I think with the exception of Javon, and I'm only saying that with the exception of Javon, because I think Javon's going to have other plans at Mania, you can make the argument for any of them to go up against Joe.
Well, I think Trick is going to have different plans at Mania as well. So Javon, Trick, and Jay are already out of the winning, right? Because you're gonna have a tag title match, a tag title championship match because it's Mania. Trick is probably gonna have his moment with Mello because you want to talk about banger after banger, and then hopefully Javon goes for the Brock Lesnar Open Challenge. So those three are already out of contention. So that really leaves Randy, Knight, Rhodes. I don't want to see Cody. I will say it again. I don't want to see Cody win. So for me, that leaves LA Knight, Randy Orton. LA Knight.
I had to choose Orton.
This one's tough. This one is a tough one. I think both of them you can make the argument for.
Hold on. Jay, after thinking, yes, I will say Orton, because here's the thing. You're not going to want to have Drew lose what could be his biggest title defense, right? His title defense on the biggest stage of them all. You're not going to have him lose. So you wouldn't want to, if they're going to push LA Knight like it's expected or perceived to be happening, then what's the next best thing? Randy taking the loss because he can, and it won't matter.
Now let me ask you this though, right? Based off that, if Randy loses, do we see the start of the heel turn
for Randy?
Yeah.
I don't think Randy can turn heel anymore. Randy will turn heel and he'll still get cheered. Randy has hit that upper echelon where nobody cares if he's heel or face.
No.
And he also kind of wrestles the same either way. So it's not like there's a whole big distinction between face Randy and heel Randy.
I'm in agreement with you guys. I think it's got to be Orton. I think if you want to push LA Knight, I don't think you push him 4 or 5 weeks before Mania. Okay?
I think Mania the start of the push.
No, I would go a step further. If you want to give him that push, start around SummerSlam. Then give him the momentum going to the end of the year. Have him win the Rumble. Have him win the Rumble, and then that's where you give him the moment at WrestleMania. I think doing it now, I don't think you can give him. I don't think you can get time for them to build up the proper story. Because, right, you said it before. What happens if LA Knight loses? Then where do you go after this?
Right.
I think if you wait till SummerSlam, and that's where you start building him up, and you have him get the win after win, you give him that momentum, and then all of a sudden comes to the Rumble, he wins. LA Knight,
listen, as long as they don't stick him in another Money in the Bank match, because that's what fucked his run up, was that Money in the Bank match that he was in, and he wasn't in the right spot for 2 or 3 things, and everybody backstage was fucking shitting their pants.
But yeah, I think that's how you do it. I think if I'm WWE, I don't pull the trigger on LA Knight yet. I think you wait till SummerSlam and start building him. Because then at least you're giving him what? You're giving him August, September, October, November, December. You give him 5 months. You get the fans behind him. That's the other thing also. Can you legitimately in less than 2 months get the fans behind LA Knight to go up against Drew, where there's a huge possibility he's probably going to lose?
Which is why I say Randy.
I'm going to agree with you.
What if we throw a wild card and we just put Fatu in there? Because we have seen him being buttered up by Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis say, I will give you Drew McIntyre this past Friday night at SmackDown. I'm going to give you Drew. I'm going to give you Drew. What if he just goes into Elimination Chamber and kind of messes things up?
So what do you? He goes in there, jumps Cody, kind of like
messes his chances to get Drew McIntyre.
Honestly,
give Cody the Trinity treatment.
That or what I would like to see is Cody and Orton start the story there.
I think if you go that route, and it's let's say all of a sudden Cody gets taken out and Fatu replaces him, then my pick changes. I go Fatu because we've seen Fatu hold a belt before. Obviously, we all know he was the longest reigning MLW champion, so he knows what it takes to be at the top. And I think if you take Cody out, I think you take him off TV then entirely. Don't have him at Mania, nothing. Then Backlash, Clash in Italy.
Clash at the no, it's Clash in Italy.
And when that happens, then we get Cody coming back, but he comes back as a heel.
Do we necessarily have to put Cody in a championship match?
No. I've said this for a while now. Cody holding the title, I'm not a fan of. Cody chasing the title, I'm 100% behind. I mean, look what we saw with his run with Roman at 39 and 40. Probably some of the greatest programming we've seen in probably the last 20 years, if not more. I just think you have Cody come back. Also, I think what you do at that point, he comes back. Do you remember when he came back to AEW that one time and he had the black hair?
Yeah, because they had filmed a movie or something.
You have him come back, have him get rid of the blonde, have him get rid of the blonde hair, black hair, come back and be a heel.
It's got to be with the right dance partner.
Oh, I think you could easily, if you get him as a heel, I mean, it could be.
He comes back as a heel at SummerSlam. By that time, the crowd has probably turned Fatu into a face. You can pick that feud right back up.
Yeah, Fatu and Rhodes going into Survivor Series wouldn't be terrible.
From what you're seeing on SmackDown, do you think Fatu will be in the championship match at WrestleMania?
Yes. I think somehow, some way, and I hate to say, I think somehow, some way, your match at Mania is going to be Drew, Cody, and Fatu. I hate to say it. And not because of Fatu. I think Fatu is a fantastic wrestler. It's because it's Cody. And we've been down this road. And Jay, I think you and I spoke about this a couple weeks ago. If they're trying to get the same reaction of Cody finishing the story again, because he's in the main event.
We saw you finish the story, bro. We saw you finish the story. Once you finish the story, you can't finish the story again.
But I think in their eyes, they look at it as, well, we got that once. We can get that a second time. I'm like, no, you can't. What you had with him going to WrestleMania 40. Will you guys both agree with me on the fact that was probably some of the greatest programming we've ever seen in WWE?
I mean, it was definitely some of the best promos. I thought that they had matches for the sake of matches in between that. Tag matches, this match. Feuds for your, and I've said this for so long, feuds for your heavyweight title are to put asses in seats. They shouldn't be touching each other unless it's a pay-per-view or a Saturday night's main event. Like, it's got to be something special. You can't have them fucking putting hands on each other fucking every week on TV. That it loses its luster.
I think it's be very
That's why that is why in the 80s Ric Flair was so good at what he did. He didn't compete on TV every week, but he was damn sure there and was cutting promos so that you remembered that he's the fucking world heavyweight champion. He's the flagship of the company, and he's not gonna go and fight and wrestle some nickel and dime or some ham and egger that, you know, every week on TV.
And don't we have one more match, by the way?
What?
Don't we have one more match?
Yeah, one more match. It's the it's CM Punk versus Finn Balor. And listen, it's not going to happen, but I really want Finn to win. Not because I'm tired of Punk, but because he fucking deserves it, man. Finn deserves it. Give the man what he deserves. You have AJ Lee win in Chicago, and you have CM Punk lose in Chicago.
Yeah.
As much as I hate to say it, unfortunately, I think Punk's going to win.
Yeah, Punk is going to win.
Because WWE's not going to want to have, especially in Chicago, one of the tougher crowds, to say the least.
They don't give a shit about that anymore.
Why not? Roman's not on TV. I haven't seen Roman before Valentine's.
Well, you don't need to see Roman. The only time you need to see the next time you need to see Roman is at WrestleMania,
or Street Fighter the movie,
because that where there's Zebros, that animated movie there.
Oh, Zootopia.
Was it Zootopia too?
Yeah, Zootopia too. Yeah.
Okay.
Zebra.
But we already Roman won the Royal Rumble. We know Roman chose Punk. So the next time we don't need to see. We know the history between Punk and Roman. We don't need to see Roman until WrestleMania.
I think it's going to be very interesting to see what this weekend holds. Now, let me ask you guys this now. What closes out the show on Saturday? Ray, I'll throw it to you first.
Sorry. Punk Balor closes out the show, because then you can have the person that won the Elimination Chamber just standing there looking.
Jay, what about you?
Tell you what Jay wants to see. He wants to see the men's Elimination Chamber match close the show on a big, large-scale production, exclusively directed by Jay. This was what he would do. As Cody is ready to get the pinfall, who comes out of nowhere? Sami Zayn, and hits Cody and misses his chances, just like he missed his chance when he was arguing with the referee and he didn't get his moment and Cody pinned him for the 1, 2, 3. This is what Jay wants to see for the longest. Sami Zayn with a new fresh coat of paint. Make him heel. Let's go Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. Zayn goes over Cody.
Interesting.
That is a left field take, as if I've ever heard one, but I like it. I'm all about the chaos.
At first, Jay, when you were saying it, I'm sitting there going, where are you going with this? And I was about to make some stupid comment, and then also we said about the heel, I'm like, interesting. But I think, honestly, with him...
Why, thank you, David. I appreciate that.
You got to connect the puzzles. Now, John, David, before you begin...
Have Balor and Punk close out the show with the Elimination Chamber winner appearing on stage at...
Yeah, that might most likely happen. But listen, before you guys even just get a chance to rebuttal, if you watch SmackDown, which I know you guys do because you're diehard fans like Jay, Sami Zayn was tormented. He didn't know what to do in that moment. But he apologized. Well, who came right after? Trick Williams. And what did Trick Williams say to Sami? I'm going to do something that you haven't done. I'm going to get the job done. And that's exactly what Trick Williams did. That just puts more gasoline into the fire of what Sami Zayn needs to do, because he did. Cody Rhodes ruined his chance when he was trying to talk to the referee at that moment, and he took advantage of it.
It's very interesting. We got a comment coming here from Jumbo Ref over on Facebook. He says, hey, Jumbo Ref, glad you can check out the show tonight. I like the idea of having, the Elimination Chamber winner come out and kind of not announce it, but kind of obviously, we all know it's going to end up being. But I would almost go a step. Well, no, wait a second. Hold on. I just thought of something. The Elimination Chamber winner, okay, goes up against Drew.
Yeah.
Why would they have to come up on stage to go against Punk? We know Punk's going up against Roman.
Oh, yeah.
I just thought of that.
Yeah, good pickup. Neither one of us thought of that before.
I just thought of that. I'm just sitting there trying to figure this out in my head. I'm like, wait a second. Punk's going up against Roman. Drew would get the winner of the Elimination Chamber.
Well, Drew's not competing at Elimination Chamber. Maybe he's out there doing commentary.
Well, I had another idea to how to close out the show. And I think it's a very interesting way to close out the show. Punk wins. Next thing we see is Punk and AJ Lee embrace each other in the ring.
And
that's it.
And they hug. And they're now seen as the power couple of WWE.
You making my eye.
I don't get how it all fits in, but
making my eye twitch. Stop it.
Think about it.
How does this all fit in? Because wait, let me guess. Because it's Chicago.
It's Chicago. Am I wrong though?
I just didn't know what you.
I mean, you can't.
Here's
the thing.
It's funny though.
Hold on. Are you laughing because it's that crazy, or are you laughing because it's that crazy? You think it's going to happen?
I'm laughing because I can't believe I heard it.
Absolutely crazy. The only way that can work.
It does happen. Hold on. Right.
Hold on.
I will then call you guys out in the group chat.
The only way that works is if you turn Punk and AJ heel, because the power couple moniker only works and only describes heel couples because they flaunt their power, which flaunting power is not a very face thing to do. Faces are gracious. Faces are friendly.
Okay, so guys, Elimination Chamber is not even sold out. Do you agree that we need something shocking or just a moment just to kind of pick up some fume going into WrestleMania after all these injuries?
Well, first off, I would like to address Navar Olson. He says, hey guys, first time on here.
What's up, buddy?
Navar, thank you for joining us for the last 10 minutes or so of the show. We appreciate it and hope to have you back for next week's show. We start promptly at 8 o'clock on Facebook Live and YouTube.
Yes. Jay, what was your question before we wrap things up?
Do you think we need a moment, like a shocking or a moment to happen in the Elimination Chamber for the fact that they're not sold out? They struggle with tickets, just like they're struggling with WrestleMania. And John, you and I talked about it for weeks and weeks. Tourism's down 18% in Vegas. My gosh, it's down all over. Do you think they need a moment to just kind of put some fume into that undisputed World Heavyweight Championship and make it interesting or exciting or something? Some sizzle.
I'm honestly, I don't know. I'm very curious to see how Saturday plays out.
Hold on one second, John. Jay, that's why for that Matt, for the EC, For the Elimination Chamber, you have Punk and Finn close out the show. You have Drew out there doing commentary, and the show ends when Drew gets attacked out of the crowd from the winner of the Elimination Chamber. That creates your moment.
It's a masked man.
Anyway,
just feel like we need something bigger than that.
And let's put a pin in that. We can that can be our topic for next week. Because I'm actually thinking of an idea. And I haven't done one of these in a while.
oh Lord.
I'm actually thinking here. We have to, the three of us, before next Tuesday, have to come up with our own WrestleMania card.
This is homework.
So you're giving us homework is what you're saying.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because WrestleMania is a long, long show. How many matches do we get to put on the card? What's the limit?
I'll figure that out. I'll figure that out afterwards. Okay, I'll figure all the details after we get off air.
Say that again.
I will figure all those details when we get off air.
Okay.
Right. I'm down to put a card next week. I already got it in my head.
Now, are we following the card that is already out there? No. Okay.
No. I'll put it this way. What WrestleMania 42, if it's booked by myself, if it's booked by you, or it's booked by Jay, it's how we would book it to get the most asses in seats.
Okay.
Here's the other thing also. None of us can know the other person's card beforehand. I want it to be as genuine as we can make this.
Okay.
And like I said, I'll have all the details in our chat later on tonight. But guys, I appreciate everybody who watched the show. It meant a lot. Before we wrap things up, Ray, I'll throw it to you quickly. Any final thoughts?
My final thoughts are I hope everybody tunes in for SmackDown and the Elimination Chamber this weekend so that we can have a active show. This is one of our most active shows that we've had in a while, and I appreciate it. And with that, all I have to say is, to quote Pissed Off Bartender, keep the motherfucking boots out of your motherfucking mouth. And remember, the golden rule will always be, yeehaw, fuck the law.
Jay, what about you?
Well, Jay's very excited for this coming weekend at the Elimination Chamber. He wants to know, is WWE going to sell Jay into watching WrestleMania this year or skipping it? That is the big question going into this weekend. So,
Sir, it's literally part of your job to watch it.
I'm skipping it. I'm skipping it if I see trash.
Hey, Jay, how about this? At 8 o'clock next week, next Tuesday, when we go live, we'll have your answer. Did Elimination Chamber get Jay into wanting to go watch WrestleMania?
I think I will say that based on what just happened on NXT, I think you might be seeing all ego Ethan Page on the main roster sooner than later.
He dropped it.
He did against Miles Bourne.
Oh, baby Randy Orton.
Baby Orton.
I got it. Miles Bourne, Randy Orton. WrestleMania.
Winner gets the genetic tree.
But guys, we got to get out of here. Like I said, guys, I appreciate everybody who watched tonight. James, Navarre, obviously David, Billy. I appreciate everybody who watched.
Greek Savage.
Subscribe to us on Facebook. Follow us on YouTube.
Don't forget Phil. Say his name.
Joseph.
Phil as well.
Andrew.
Guys, follow us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Guys, we'll be back live here next week with the three of ours WrestleMania card. And also with the big question, did Elimination Chamber convince Jay to want to go watch WrestleMania? That and so much more coming up next week on the show. Also, before I forget, we do have an interview coming up tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Right here, I am sitting down with the king of ECW, Mr. Alvin Alvarez, who has a lot of stuff going on, especially he is going after the VPW title. And he also is involved in the Hero Celebration main event, so we'll touch on that. Also, I want to get his thoughts on the fact that his girlfriend just made her debut in Remarkable Wrestling. And they were in the ring together, the two of them. I want to get his thoughts on that as well. So, guys, you don't want to miss out as I sit down with Alvin Alvarez for the first interview in, God, months?
Yeah, many months. In many months.
So, guys, definitely tune in for
Is that where you got the ending for Elimination Chamber, was seeing them in the ring?
Yeah.
At the end of her match? So you figure might as well throw that onto. Good Lord.
And guys, also tune in tomorrow night for I-86 After Dark as the guys get you guys ready, because even though football's done, baseball's right around the corner. Mm-hmm. But guys, for everybody here, for Ray, for Jay, for everybody behind the scenes, everybody who watched, thank you guys for watching us. Appreciate it very much. We'll catch you guys next week. Same time, same channel.